You've all asked for it, and I'm here to deliver. Just kidding. Nobody's asked for this. However, I still wanted to make this video because I am here for you. You're probably watching this video because you're thinking of becoming a flight attendant or you've always wanted to. Whatever it is, I'm here to answer any questions, and today I'm going to be talking about how much money you actually make as a flight attendant, because along with any job, you wouldn't just want to do it and not know anything about the financial aspect. So here we go. But first, I always like to start out with telling you where I'm at, because I'm in a different city every day. Today I'm coming at you from Buffalo, New York. Tonight I'll be all the way on the other side of the country in Oregon, Portland to be exact. But today I'm coming at you from Buffalo. Kind of a dumpy hotel room. Not gonna lie, the lighting sucked. Had to fire up all these lamps. In fact, got an extra light. My best friend Scout, his stepdad Max, bought me this, so it actually comes in handy. So shout out to my dogs. I said that because they have dog names. Anyways, before I get into how much money you actually make, I want to warn you that it is a little bit discouraging for the first couple of years. And because of that, I do need to stress, and I can't stress enough, it is an amazing job. I love it, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So let's get to it. The first couple of years, this does depend on what airline you're with, but the first couple of years, no matter who you're with, you're not going to be making much of anything at all. In fact, probably less than your typical minimum wage, say somebody working at McDonald's. This is just for your first couple of years, and you don't have to be making like less than minimum wage. A typical flight attendant is only scheduled to work for 3 days a week, sometimes four. So you're only working 3 to 4 days a week. That means you have 3 to 4 days off, which means in your days off you can always pick up extra or do something like have a side job, or consider this to be your side job until you work your way up through those pay scales. Every year you typically get a raise, and eventually you're making good money for doing the easiest job in the world. I say that it's the easiest job in the world because it really can be the easiest job in the world. Yes, we're trained to be first responders and deal with anything that comes our way. However, on a good day, you're just floating around in the sky, handing out drinks and smiling at people. And you don't even have to smile these days because we're still in COVID and we're wearing these masks. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, so like I said, your first few years, you're not really going to be making much of anything. I wanted to bust out the calculator and give you some exact numbers. However, there's a million different airlines out there, and every airline pays a little bit differently. So I will give you some rough numbers. Your first year, you shouldn't expect to make more than 25 to $30,000, and that is only if you work your set schedule. Like I said, you can pick up extra, and you could double that amount of income if you would like. So, like I said, it's discouraging because $25,000-$30,000 is nothing. It's hard to live on for most people. However, as you work your way up, you can be making some serious money. If you are at the very top of that pay scale, you can be making six figures without even trying. Now, if you're working your butt off and you're at the top of the pay scale, you can be making the best numbers that I could calculate up to were about $170,000 to $190,000 a year. Yes, that is working your butt off. You're working 6 days a week, sometimes even seven. It's hard to work 7 days a week because you do need a 24-hour rest period in every 7 days, but it is possible. There's ways to get around it, and I might talk about that later. So, like I said, year number one sucks, money-wise. It's a blast. It's so much fun. Year number 10 to 12, that's about when you're at the top of the pay scale. You're rolling in the money, and you are making 3 times more than you started out making. So let me talk about those in-between years. I keep doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. But those in-between years, the first I would say 3 years are you're kind of scraping by. Once you get to about the 5 year mark, you're definitely making decent money. You feel like you can totally survive just by working your set schedule, and that's it. And of course, after year 5, it just gets better and better from there. Now, this does vary by airline. So, a lot of people start out at those little regional airlines. They're making even less than the major airlines. If you aren't yet a flight attendant, don't feel the need to work for a regional airline just to get experience. If you just want to work there because you want to work there until you make it to a major airline, go for it. But you don't necessarily need experience. As I mentioned in a previous video, they don't the major airlines, yes, it looks good to have prior experience. However, some of them look at that as almost a bad thing because they have to break you of your old bad habits. So if you have no experience, feel totally comfortable in applying to whatever airline you want because you can definitely get hired. Many people are hired straight off the streets. Now, like I mentioned, as every year goes by, you climb higher and higher up that pay scale. And in fact, everything is seniority based as well in the airlines. So if you do find yourself at one of those regional airlines where they really pay next to nothing, however, you are getting better and better seniority, keep applying to these major airlines because although you may have good seniority, you're getting whatever vacation days off you want, everything like that. In the long run, it is definitely worth it to go back to the bottom of the seniority list at a major airline and work your way up. I promise you, in the long run, you will be making much more money. I know a lot of these very senior flight attendants at my major airline that are literally millionaires strictly from the 401k match and everything that they've done through the years for a job that you don't even need a college degree for. It's an amazing career and you make a lot of money, and in my opinion, it's kind of more money than you would expect and more money than I even feel like I deserve. So anyways, I wanted to make this very brief video and talk about how much you can make because it's on a lot of people's minds right now because airlines are beginning to boom again. I have not been on a flight that isn't full in quite some time. We're beginning to hire again. Other airlines are beginning to hire. It's a great time to enter the airline industry, so I hope to see you in the skies with me. Anyways, please subscribe, comment with whatever questions you have. I am here to help you out in becoming a flight attendant or just answer your questions. So I will try to just keep on making these videos that hopefully answer some questions, but feel free to ask your own questions and I would be happy to answer whatever you've got for me. So until next time, I don't have a catchphrase goodbye yet, so I'll see you next time.